So for the second project, I want to show you something. This is a technique I did on air, and this one is a real wow moment. So there we have this beautiful scene. I'm in fields in France when I see this. I think it's the popular trees and things. That's, you know, maybe it's an English country scene, but that I'm French countryside when I look at that one. Wonder what you think when you see that. Anyway, I digress. So what I'm going to do is something a little bit special with this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it straight into the wallet. This is easier done in the wallet, and I'm going to turn it round that way round. Now what I've done is I've spent some time cutting the foil to fit. So I have cut a piece of brown foil to follow the shape of that path. Now don't worry about this because it's really easy to do because your foil is semi-translucent. So if you hold it above your image, you can see what you're doing. I've cut silver in the shape of my bike. Now I've stuck a couple of pieces together. That's fine because that's only carrier sheet on the back. Now the key thing you need to remember is foil adheres to toner. So these sheets are just printed with toner ink. So even though I'm putting this so that my foil overlaps my foil, I don't need to worry about that because where it can't touch toner, it's not going to come to any harm whatsoever. It's just going to foil, it's just going to miss out. Now the other thing I've done is I've cut lots of little pieces of dark green. And this is sort of, I'm being a bit experimental here. I didn't do this before, but I just want to see how this looks. So what I've got is I've got dark green and I'm just popping it in little places just here. Let's go down that tree there with a little bit of dark green. Let's get a little bit of dark green. Oops, it's a bit staticky, but that's actually going to work to my advantage to help it adhere. Little bit of dark green there, and I've got one more cut just here. You don't have to do this. You could do it in a single colour like I did in the first project. And let's put a little bit of dark green here. Now if you're being really clever, you'd look at where all your light and shade sits. So there I've got my detail colour in. Now do you remember I was talking about toner sheets? I've actually cut this sentiment out from toner. So remember, this is heat activated toner foil. So it reacts to the toner. And now I'm going to lay this over the top. You have to think about what colours line up on top. So I've got my brown path, oops, which has moved. Let's put it back in place. There you go, got to be careful. Then I've got my green, I put my silver for my bike on next. Let's put that on there. Put the silver on the bike, then I put the tree trunk in. Then I put my little random bits of green in, and then I'm going to pop this in. So I can actually see through this foil straight away as I lift it up. Now I'm going to pop that over there, and then I'm going to seal that down. Don't worry, that little bit of white sticking out. Oh, actually, I do worry because I can see a little bit of toner. There we go. Right, so just as we did before, we're smooching it down. You'll see I've used my larger carrier sheet because I wanted it to do. So I'm just offering that up now to those A4 marks. You always put it into the machine with your folded edge first, so that basically when it goes, it's pushing down that way. If you did it that way, it might start to curl. You've always got to go in with your folded side first. Now we just have to give it a little bit longer. This card is going to be so simple by design. Let me show you. All I've got is, I've got a card base, and I've got this lovely lime green card. So this is, I think it might be American Crafts cardstock. So it's just a basic cardstock with no sheen, no shimmer, just a simple card. But this is sort of matching the lime green that I've used. And then I'm going to pop that onto my card base. Now I'm not going to have any other decoration on this card. No embellishments or anything. That's just going to go on there. What I've got is I've got this coming through here now. I don't know if you can see, this is coming through very slowly. Right now, I get impatient. That's through. The wallet isn't through. I'm just going to slide that out of there while that finishes going through. Okay, I didn't force it through, it just was finished. Now let me show you this. This is the wow. So we have the greens come off. This is just takes a minute to sort out. the browns where the path is. We then got the silver and the brown. Oops, let's lift that, come on. Where the bike and the tree is. And because of the way I did it, can you see, we've even got the brown trunk through the bike. And then this just takes a minute because it just sticks on. And then we've got the extra bit of darker green, because what I wanted was I wanted that effect of that light and shadow and darkness. So let me just take that off and let me show you this as it's gone through. Can you see? We now have our picture. I don't know how much further you can see. Or there you can see, you've got your green at the top of the tree, you've got your brown, you've got your silver of the bike. Your path is brown, but your grass, can you see, is green. That to me is absolute wow. That is control. Now I wanted to quickly show you, this foil is amazing. This is on here, but look at that. It doesn't matter how much I scratch, that's not coming off. That is heat activated toner foil that is now perfectly adhered to there. And I've also, nearly forgot, I've got my toner sheet with my sentiment on. Look at that, perfect. So we can then bring the card. Let's pop this onto here. I just love this foiling. This just gets me so excited. It's just a fantastic technique. And when you realise that you've got the level of control, like I've just shown you with this image, that you can now foil it. Now these are all sort of similar colours. Imagine you've got one with water. Imagine you've got one with birds or trees and buildings, and then you can just take this. Every die you've got, you can now foil when you've cut it out of your toner sheet. I can then pop that on there, as long as I make sure, oops, I didn't let go with my tweezers. As long as it's straight, I'll be sorted. Pop that on there, let me turn it around, make sure it's nicely straight. But that, to me, is absolute perfection. I've got the foil in all of those colours. How much would that cost you to buy? Oh, look, there you go, look at that. Can you see all those different colours popping through? Absolutely fantastic and so much fun to do.